So fifth graders, today we're doing Module 2, Lesson 29, and this is actually the last lesson of Module 2. Okay, so what that means is today, and word problems really is a way to review what you know, right? It's taking the math skills and putting them into a real life context to see how you can use them in a real life way. So tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, the day after that, we are going to be reviewing what we've learned in Module 2, and then on Friday you're going to have your Module 2 test, okay? Which also means your workbooks will be turned into me on Friday so that I can take out your Module 2 and give you Module 3. Make sense? Good. Today we're doing Lesson 29, and as you can see, it's the same learning goal as yesterday. Just like yesterday, we're going to be looking at word problems, and we're going to be first thinking, are they sharing division problems or grouping division problems? Okay, and then we're going to solve them. Make sense? It says a 1 year, and it reminds us that there's 52 weeks in 1 year. A 1 year subscription to a magazine is $39.95. What that means is you pay $39.95 and you get the magazines all year long. How often does it say you get the magazines? One per week, because it says to a weekly magazine. Okay? So if you paid $39.95, how many magazines would you get over the course of 1 year?
52.
Very good. Greg calculates that he would save $219.53 if he subscribed to the magazine instead of purchasing it each week at the store. So the question is asking us, what is the price of the individual magazine at the store? So we want to know if Greg was to go to the store and just buy one copy of the magazine, how much would it cost? Now this problem is really tricky. We have to first determine what important information there is. So what important information do we need in order to figure that out? What information does the problem give us? Well, first of all, it tells us that the 1 year subscription, and it's a weekly magazine, that's important too, it costs $39.95 for one whole year. But Greg calculates that he would save $219.53 if he subscribed to the magazine instead of purchasing it each week at the store. So what does that mean? If Greg was to go to the store to buy one magazine, that's what we're trying to figure out how much it costs, right? How many times would he have to go to the store to get 1 year's worth of magazines?
50.
52, right? So he'd have to go this so many times. And this would be time number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., all the way until he reaches 52 at the end. Okay. How much would all of that cost? Would all of that cost $219.53?
No.
No. Would it cost more than that? It would cost $219. It would cost $219.53 plus how much more? $39.95. Good. Okay, so again, it helps to really draw a picture. Those of you who just sat there saying, I don't know how to solve this, it's really confusing. Try to draw a picture, okay? You know if you're saving a certain amount, that means that you're adding up both prices. Does that make sense, right? Let me give you an example. Now that we understand how sales and prices work, what would be the total cost for Greg if he went to the store every week for 52 weeks and bought one copy of the magazine? We have to do $219.53 plus $39.95. Go ahead and do that math. Now that we know that 52 copies and 52 trips to the store to buy 52 copies, right, each week would cost $259.49 altogether. How can we find out what the price of one individual magazine at the store is? What do we have to do? Shobit? You got it. We take this total price as our whole, $259.48, and we divide it by the number of magazines there are, 52 of them. So let me ask you a question. Are we finding out how many groups of magazines there are? Or are we finding out the price when all the magazines share it equally? What are we doing? Sharing. So this is a sharing division problem. Okay, very good. Okay, go ahead and do the division. Go. So when we do this work, we find out that the price of one individual magazine at the store is $4.99. Now, if I wanted to check my work, how might I do that? Gaurav, how might I check my work?
You can do 4.99 times 52.
Okay. And when I do that, what should I get as my answer? So should I just write it like this and then I've checked my work?
No, you have to.
I have to actually multiply to see if it does equal that. And if it does, then I'm correct. Good. So for this question, we want to find out what the perimeter of this rectangle is. The important information, of course, is that the area is 256.5 square meters and the length is 18 meters. So what does this mean? We can find the width, right? If we know the area is 256.5 and we know that the length is 18, we can find the width by dividing. Do you guys agree? Good. Okay, so let's think. What would be our first real division problem? 2 divided by 18? It'd be 25 divided by 18, right? 25 what's divided by 18?
10.
So how many tens could we get? Good, only one. Because we know that 2 times 18 is 36, which is too big. So we don't even have to show this multiplication because we know in our heads that 1 times 18 is?
18.
Good. What's 25 minus 18?
7.
Good. I'm going to bring down the 6. So now what place are we working in?
1.
Okay, so let's go back. We know that 2 times 18 is? What's 4 times 18 then? What's 36 plus 36? Isn't that pretty close? So how many ones should we try?
4.
Good. So a lot of times we can use what we know about math facts to help us as well. Okay, so based on what we know, 4 times 18 then is? 72, good. Okay, so far we haven't even had to write any multiplication. Good. Okay, now we bring down the 5. What place value are we working in now?
10.
Tens?
10.
Oh, tenths. Good. So let's go ahead and put that decimal point right now so that we don't forget it. Okay, so let's think back. 2 times 18 was 36. What's 36 plus 18? 40, 50 something, yeah. So is that going to work?
No.
So how many tenths will we have?
2.
And what's 2 times 18 again?
36.
What's 45 minus 36?
9.
9. So is it remainder 9?
No.
Let's think about it. What are we trying to find the answer? What's the context? We're trying to find the width of something, right? Do widths stop at tenths?
No.
Could we go into the hundredths? Thousands? 10,000s?
Yeah.
I guess so, but not in 5th grade. Okay, so what does that mean? That those 9 tenths can be regrouped to become?
900.
Yeah, it's like brother is bringing down a 0. Yeah, 90 hundredths. Very good. I'm going to have to shrink it to have more space. Okay, so we already knew that 4 times 18 is 72. What's 5 times 18?
9.
Ah, wonderful. Now, if you didn't know how to write these, if you couldn't think of these math facts in your head, could you write it out?
Yeah.
Good. So is that our answer? 14.25?
No.
No, it's because we need to label our answer. If the area was in square meters and the length is 18 meters, is 14.25?
Meter.
Ah, is that our answer?
No.
Some of you are convinced by me.
Oh,
It is not, because what is the question asking? What is the perimeter? So let's go ahead and draw this rectangle for a second. We now know that the length is 18 meters. So that means this length up here is also 18 meters, right? And the width is 14.25 meters, which also means this length over here is 14.25 meters. Okay? So when I find the perimeter, I'm trying to find the distance around the entire rectangle. So what math equation would I have to do to find the perimeter? Tatiana?
18 plus 18 plus 14.25 plus 14.25.
Good. And we could write this in standard algorithm, but I think we could think about it in our head a little bit. What's 18 plus 18? We already know. Okay. Now, 0.25. Does that remind you of anything? A quarter, yeah. If I have 2 0.25s or 2 quarters, what do I have?
50.
So these 0.25 plus 0.25 is going to be turned into a 0.50, right? What's 14 plus 14?
28.
So really I'm doing 36 plus 28.5. Yes? Go ahead and complete that math and find the answer.